Welcome to another episode of St. Louis Presents, and as always, we're excited to bring you the show. I'm your host, Aprille Trupiano, and while I'm missing my co-host Rob, who's hanging out in Florida, I'm very happy to have my guest host, Vern Fuller. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Aprille. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be back.
Yay. We also have a fabulous guest. Well, we have a couple fabulous guests. One of them is Dr. Gloria Johnson from Life Source Consultants, who's going to give us some really important information for women who may be suffering from domestic violence. So,
also,
go ahead.
Also, we have Reine Bayoc from Sweet Art.
Yes.
Reine is going to share with us from scratch sweet treats.
Yes, that are all natural.
All natural. Some are gluten-free, or some are vegan, and some are more traditional. So we can't wait to taste your sweet treats.
Thank you.
Stay right there. We've got another great show for you here on St. Louis Presents. Welcome back to St. Louis Presents. We've got a fantastic show for you, and I'm so happy to be here with my co-host, Aprille Trupiano.
I'm excited to have you. Welcome back. You've been gone a while.
Just a little while.
Yeah. Now, you're an STL TV veteran.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I like that. Veteran.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left for a number of years, and it's wonderful to be back. I can't tell you how good it feels to be back. I'm glad to be back in St. Louis. I'm glad to be back with my STL TV family and friends. So many familiar faces in the studio, and I get the pleasure of co-hosting this show with the lovely Aprille Trupiano.
Thank you. So tell me, Vern, what are you doing back here? I know you've got a business, you got family here. Give us a scoop.
I do. I have two of the most beautiful daughters in the world. Madison Camille Fuller, 11 years old, and Maya Ruth Fuller, 8 years old. And they are the major reasons that I'm back in St. Louis. Yeah, they are. They're daddy's girls, they're daddy's angels.
Oh, I love it. Actually, I saw their pictures. They are gorgeous.
Did you? Well, thank you.
I did. They're gorgeous. Saw them on Facebook.
They were both signed with Talent Plus at the age of 3. So I'm a very proud daddy to be able to say that.
Yeah.
I had to put that in there. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
Both are playing piano and excelling in sports. And
nice.
Yeah, doing well in school.
Now, you also have a consulting business.
Extraordinary Results Consultation Services.
Nice.
And it's a wonderful thing to be able to cultivate and grow normally salespeople or sales reps, and the ability to produce extraordinary results, go from average to above average results consistently. And that has always been my goal. So I love doing that. I understand you're a motivational speaker as well.
I am. I do professional speaking. I also do workshops, and I do trainings, and I do coaching. So I'm a business coach. So we have that in common.
We have that in common.
Yeah,
we have that in common.
Actually, I am excited to say that I've got a workshop coming up here in St. Louis, and then I've got one coming up in the UK. I'm speaking via satellite in the UK next Monday, promoting the workshop in June, and we're working on one in Dubai. So.
I can so see you doing that.
Yeah. Now you have some history in broadcasting. You've been doing this a long time, all the way back to...
Don't go back too far.
One day.
I started some years ago and hosted a number of shows. Started with Continental, then came to St. Louis TV. It was actually a different name during those days. But one show was called See Here, it was a local magazine show. We were the #2 best local show in St. Louis. And we had a fabulous time doing it. You know, I was just the talent. The real hard work, you know, what people don't realize is the work behind the scenes that makes the show successful. So we've got the easy job.
I know,
You know,
we really do.
Job.
Show up, have fun, smile, make fun of each other, interview our guests. Yeah, that's all we have to do.
So, I mean, we covered a lot of really interesting events, a lot of topics. You know, I love the work. I love the work, always have, always have. And it is, I can't tell you how good it feels to be here with you today.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Now, let me ask you this. So what else do you do when you're in St. Louis? What makes Vern light up and smile and have a good time?
My girls.
Yeah.
My girls make Daddy very happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And we do a lot of fun stuff. We do fun stuff like the Science Center, which we'll be talking about later.
Yeah.
We do a lot of, I like to keep them very cultural and expose them to things that are going to make them well-rounded. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm sure
absolutely.
you understand.
I do. You know, you don't know this, but our viewers do. I have an 18-year-old nephew and a 18-month-old nephew and a 17-month-old niece, and they are just the light of my life. Absolutely in love. I'm teaching them Italian. They each have about 5 words now in Italian.
Wonderful.
I'm so excited.
Wonderful.
And actually, on the way here, I was sitting in the parking lot and I was doing little videos for them for Happy Valentine's Day, singing them a little song that they like. Yeah, I love it.
You are so cool. You are so cool.
So now, we got some stuff going on around St. Louis that you can take the girls to. We've got, you mentioned the Flight of the Butterflies at the Omnimax.
Flight of the Butterflies, yes we do.
I want to see that one. We also have...
The film follows the migration of the monarch butterflies, and it's a very exciting journey.
Yeah,
And we also have the Orchid Show at Missouri Botanical Gardens.
We do. That sounds like it would be gorgeous. I want to check that out. I like both of those. I love butterflies and I do love orchids, so that'll be fun. And then we have Sense and Sensibility.
At the Repertory Theater?
At the Repertory Theater. Until March 3rd?
Until March 3rd,
Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
All right.
So you got a few more weeks to check that out, and you don't want to miss that.
Yes. All right. Well, stay tuned because we are going to bring in Dr. Gloria Johnson. As I said, she's going to give us some really important information about women who suffer from domestic violence.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Be right back.
Watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Experience St. Louis!
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
The odds of this daughter of a clergyman spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to St. Louis Presents. I'm so happy to be here with Aprille Trupiano, and with us we have Dr. Gloria Johnson from LifeSource Consultants. Welcome, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Nice to be here. Now, you know, this is the month of love, right?
Yes.
And unfortunately, sometimes love takes a little twist on us. Yes. And we've seen here in St. Louis, especially recently, we've had some issues, really serious issues with that. So it's really good to know that someone like you is out there providing services so we can avoid those tragic instances that we've seen. So tell us about Life Source Consultants and what you do there.
Life Source Consultants is what we consider a non-residential domestic violence program. And that's a program where women who decide not to go in shelter, or when they come out of shelter, they can come to for assistance.
Okay.
Dr. Johnson, who does your program actually target?
Our program basically targets women that have been abused, physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally, or sexually. We work with their children also on a limited basis, but we have referrals for them most of the time, because when children are involved, they are also victims.
We hear so much about, after the fact when a woman has been abused. When should a woman walk away? Should it be after the first incident when a man lays his hands on her?
It has to be her decision, whatever she feels comfortable with. There are very few women that walk away after the first hit, because most of the time if they do, they're normally going back once they've had the apologies, flowers, candy, dinner, whatever.
And that's a syndrome.
It is.
I hit you, I'm sorry, I hit you, I'm sorry, and
And I won't do it again.
Right.
And I love you.
Right, exactly.
Yes. So basically, when we work with women, we leave it up to them. We educate them about what's going on in their particular situation, because each situation is different. So we look at what's going on in her home, and we try to educate her about that particular situation. We give her the options that are available to her, and we let her make her own decision. The only time we would suggest that she leaves is if, in the course of a conversation, we believe her life is in danger.
What are some of the signs of escalation? Because as a woman who thinks that he'll never do it again, or perhaps she hasn't been hit yet, what are those signs that she needs to be looking for in order to feel comfortable going home to that house again?
If she's never been in that situation, she probably still won't pick him up. If she's been in that situation before, there'll be little things like blaming her for things that he wanted her to do that she did not do, because it's really about control. And one of the things that we teach our clients is that you can never satisfy your partner. No matter what you do, you will never be able to do it right for him.
So physical abuse is really not about physical abuse, it's about control.
It's about control.
Kind of like sexual harassment is not about sex, it's about control.
It is. But
Power.
The majority of the abuse you will find will be verbally, mentally, and emotionally, more than physical.
Is that always a phase? Does the verbal and mental come first?
Most of the time it does. Most of the
to
time
wear them down.
It does, before you get that first hit. It's rare that your partner will just automatically hit you. They will make sure that you're comfortable with them and that you're locked into that relationship, so that when he does hit you, you won't leave. And then he beats you down to let you know that you cannot make it without him. There's nobody else out there that wants you.
Wow.
And you offer a lot of free services, and a lot of people kind of shun at the word free. Can you share with us, what are some of those services that fall under free?
Well, all of our services are free. Our counseling, just for you to be able to come in and talk to one of our staff about what's going on in your life, that's free. But if you are a victim and you've become a client of Life Source, there are a couple things that are available. Verizon has a Hope Line program whereby they provide us with cell phones with 3,000 talking minutes, 3,000 text minutes that we can give to our client if she doesn't have a phone, so that she can always have that line of communication open. Then also for the last couple of years, we've had a program called Road to Recovery. And in this program, we're able to provide limited utility assistance, food vouchers, because sometimes when a victim does leave or the abuser's out of the home, her money changes. And so sometimes she needs assistance with food. We had one client that said, all I need is just something for lunch for my girls. And so we were able to give her a food voucher so she could buy things for lunch. for her daughters. And then if a woman does not have transportation, we provide cab transportation to either, we have 2 locations, so it's to either our city office or our county office, so that she can get there for services, because if she doesn't have transportation, she's not coming.
And that's so key, because we were talking in the green room and you said that if she doesn't get there right away, the abuse incident is over. Right. And she either lets it go or thinks she exaggerated in her mind, or it wasn't that big of a deal, and she doesn't come in and get the help she needs.
She doesn't, and she doesn't call us again until it happens.
Right. Now, I want to get this in before we go, before we forget. Where can people reach you? Because this is important. How can people get in touch with you?
Our crisis line is area code 314-524-0686. And then also what I would like to let the audience know is that we have a group of domestic violence programs that work together as a team. So we send them to the nearest area. If they're living in South St. Louis, we will send them to a program that's south, because we know if she goes somewhere close, she'll probably go for services.
And we've got that information on the screen so that people can write it down. Because what probably, and again, I'm making assumptions, you correct me if I'm wrong, but the thing that probably holds women back is fear, shame, guilt, questioning whether or not it was really as bad as they felt like it was in the moment. What would you say to those women to have them pick up that phone?
I would just say to them, just pick up the phone and get encouragement. Sometimes just that encouragement can help them understand that they're not alone, because many times they feel that there's nobody else going through this but them. And then also with fear, every time a woman loses her life, that instills even more fear into women that are victims.
Now, what if someone else calls on behalf of what they consider to be a victim?
What we do is we talk to them, but we don't call the victim. Sometimes people call us and say, can you call my sister? And what we will do is tell them we need them to call us. But we will tell the person that we talk to how to keep the victim safe, so that she will have some safety planning and things she can do to just be there for her, not to turn her back on her. Because sometimes what happens is if you don't leave, after a while your family gets tired and they'll walk away.
Now, we just want to say one thing we were talking in that green room as well, is that you do have a lot of success stories. So we want to encourage people to give you a call. If you guys, if you're out there and you have any question about whether or not this is a problem for you that is in your household, do give Dr. Johnson a call. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, coming up next, we are going to go to the kitchen, which I know Vern's excited about. What's in the kitchen?
We've got sweet treats you won't want to miss. Stay tuned and come right back with us.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back to St. Louis Presents, and we are in the kitchen. This is always the fun part of the show, where we get to actually dig into some sweet treats and look at how all this yummy stuff is made.
And we have Reine Bayoc with us from Sweet Arts.
Yes.
And Reine, we want to hear all about the sweet treats that you brought in. And I understand some of them are adequate for like a vegan diet or vegetarian. They're all gluten-free, from scratch. Tell us about them.
Right. Well, what we're known for is that we make everything from scratch. So a lot of companies right now may, cut some corners here or there, but, I'm from the South. It's really important to start with your eggs and your butter and your sugar and creaming and taking your time to make sure everything's delicious. Now, what is really unique about Sweet Art is that we can also duplicate any cake that we make with eggs and butter, gluten-free, and we can duplicate any cake vegan as well.
Okay, I gotta ask you, my sister is a vegan. My other sister's a vegetarian. I personally am coming kicking and screaming a little bit, okay?
Join the team.
Well, I get it, but what's the difference in taste?
A lot of people are worried that the taste won't be the same. With baking, we're able to duplicate the taste from a cake that has eggs and butter and a cake that has soy milk or almond milk and flax meal in place of eggs. That's a little industry trick there. So with baking, there's not so much of a difference. In the beginning, we made brownies with eggs and butter, and then we made a vegan version. And consistently, our vegan brownie outsold the non-vegan brownie. So now we don't even do the traditional brownie with eggs and butter.
Now, did you advertise it as vegan brownies, or did people just come in and say, hey, that looks good, I want some of that?
You know what? We advertised it as a vegan brownie, and we convinced those who were hesitant to try it. Because a lot of people, not saying this is you, will come in and say, ooh, no, I don't want it because it doesn't have eggs and butter. And we just cut a little sample, and usually you can get people to taste it if it's, a little sample and it's free. And then it's so delicious that they buy it.
Now, so I have to be gluten-free, for health reasons. And so I say thank you for bringing yummalicious treats that are gluten-free and vegan. But what got you started? What had you decide to bring this to the public?
A lot of customers came in requesting gluten-free. I have a son who had a little bit of a dairy allergy. He had a little bit of asthma-like symptoms. So in the house, we were cutting dairy anyway. So I thought, okay, he's gonna need a birthday cake. I need to learn how to make a delicious birthday cake without eggs and butter and all of those things. And it just ended up benefiting the shop because we get a lot of people now who are vegan or who have children who can't do dairy and eggs. So it helps out a lot. Now with the gluten-free, we just, we kept getting requests for gluten-free. People are suffering from celiac disease right now. So we thought, here's another challenge. Let's make it delicious. That was the real challenge, to make it delicious, and we do.
I love what I'm seeing. I just want to get this in. Where exactly is Sweet Art located?
Sweet Art is nestled in the Shaw neighborhood. I like to say nestled because it's a beautiful neighborhood. We're not far from the Botanical Garden. We're at 2203 South 39th Street, and it sits right in between Shaw and Magnolia.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's cute.
It's beautiful, and I, for one, did not know about you, and I, for one, am going to be there very shortly to visit you guys because it is hard to find stuff that is absolutely delicious, and so as good as regular, and so thank you.
Thank you.
Now, tell me this: is it harder to make things that are gluten-free or vegan?
You know, it's
because
not
at home it's harder.
Yeah, you know, it can be at home, but once you figure out a formula for it, we make all of our gluten-free batter ourselves. We don't use a pre-packaged gluten-free dry mix. So we had to play with, okay, coconut flour is really good and sorghum's really good too.
I think we're looking at some of your other products. So it's not just desserts. Am I seeing
it's
sandwiches
not just
as well?
desserts. We serve lunch Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 3. And it is an entirely vegan menu with gluten-free options. Yay. So, and we're all about balance, you know.
Give me an example of this sandwich we're looking at. That looks delicious.
That
what is that?
is our vegan banh mi, and a banh mi is a traditional Vietnamese sandwich, and we make it vegan. We use seitan in replace of pork and beef or whatever meat traditionally is used, and it's delicious.
And this artist that we're looking at?
That is my partner and co-owner and love of my life, Reine Bayoc, and he does all of the art in the shop.
Oh, how nice. Yeah. This is really a labor of love.
This is a labor of love. It is.
Now, clarify one thing for me, because I hear vegan, I think of, personally, uncooked food, but I saw what looks like chips on a platter. Did I not see that?
You did see chips. That's called balance. If you're going to eat a really healthy lunch, you can have a few potato chips. You know, we do serve cupcakes, and that is also balanced. So we're clear
for
about
others
it.
like me who think vegan means raw food, that's not necessarily the case, right?
That's not the case. You know, there are raw foodists who happen to be vegan, and they are not cooking their food at all. It doesn't go above a temperature of 180 degrees, and they dehydrate food as well. But that's not what we do.
So you have something for everyone.
We have something for everyone, even those who like their ribs.
Reine, thank you so much for coming in and joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Another great show. Don't forget to visit Sweet Art in the Shaw neighborhood. Thank you very much to both of our guests. We're really excited. And I know Vern can't wait to dig into these sweet treats here.
Got the contact information and location on the screen.
Yeah, 2203 South 39th Street, right in the Shaw neighborhood.
Good, good.
Yay.
Again, thank you for coming in, Reine.
Thank you very much.
And follow us on Twitter at STL TV Channel. Tell us what you think of the new show on Facebook.com, STL TV. Thank you so much for joining us again for another edition of St. Louis Presents. We'll see you here next week, same time, same place, right here on STL TV.